coalition of the might of the church and region working hand in hand to keep the peasant or serf population of Europe under control. The peons of Europe were in a high state of agitation, and Christendom broke up into many denominations concentrated into what is now today known as Protestantism, Protestantism, Anglicization, and Catholicism. The Bible had been devised by the Vatican and subjected to many revisions by a score of European scholars, finally crystallizing into the King James Version in 1611. This book was one of the main instruments in teaching our people. Now again, this is from a Mormon book called the Litany of Ray. So this is why the Mormon, like I told you, there's a lot of science in the Mormon stuff that they leave out specifically due to the fact that they don't want nobody to really do the knowledge to the fact that the Mormons are really practicing science. Right? So in that, when you see these Kemite people and they talk about how they don't rock with Moors and stuff like that or whatever, you can chuckle to yourself. You be like, you can actually be like, yeah, but you rock with Ray, right? You believe in Ray, right? And you're like, okay, well, great. You're an Egyptian high priest. What's the hidden name of Ray? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. Because they don't know that. The reason they don't know that is because they're referring to themselves as Kemites or Egyptians. However, the Egyptian culture was really a Moorish culture. And that there was no such thing, if there was no such thing as a pharaoh, then if they're wrong with that, then they might be wrong with some other things too, right? Now, this is an old stele. This is a stele that's found over in Nubia, and the inference on it is those subjugated by Ray. Now look at that. You see the fez. Exactly. This is why they deaded Fox News right after that. Right after that, they deaded. Right? Yeah, because they understand what it's, because the high elders in that understand what it's about. I'm going to show you the high elders of the Mormon church in a second. But this is to show you, this is the subjugation of the infidels of the things by Ray, which means by bay. Ain't this what the Moors do? Come with the scimitar. You see the scimitar, right? Ready to cut the heads. That's right. This is what I forgot. And then about, right? Okay. Just everything in this country they got essentially from us in that way, right? Everybody heard of the term. How many people have heard the term hillbilly? Oh, he's a hillbilly, right? This is the Hillbillies or the Hillbillies. When they talk about the Beverly Hillbillies, the Hillbillies were a group of Moors called the Hillbillies out of Khalifa. Exactly. You talk about the Hillbillies or whatever. You're talking about the Hillbillies. That's these people. It'll be deputies, meaning that they had a government, right? It gets better.
It's what the neighbor downstairs. You know, there's a joke on me that you're doing laundry every day and you're not guys laundry. As soon as I went downstairs, that nigga took all my shit out with everybody in the building, the white boy. What's this guy doing? I said he's obsessed with the laundry.
He's a germaphobe.
He touched my pretty panties for him. But you know what? You gotta get to do that. I took my clothes out the dryer, so no reason to dry next door for my shirts. He's like, no, I'm not gonna thing I'm gonna get. I said, I'm like, that's right.
Exactly.
So now wait till I have to do my thing.
Yes. Yes. Crazy.
There's a joke on me. Everybody thinks you want you to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm straight up. I don't even want those in this dryer.
This, exactly. Another term that don't apply to these people. Matter of fact, these are the elders. These are the first elders of the Mormon church. John Rock, Elijah Abel, or they refer to him in life as Elijah Abdel, and Elder Greenflake. The Greenflake family is one of the biggest, oldest Mormon families in, from the beginning of the so-called movie. And as you can see, none of these people are Caucasian. Inshallah. See what I'm saying? That's what I was going to say. How you going to have a Mormon church, and the God of the Mormon church is the Moroni, right? Who were from the ancient Nephites, right? The ancient Nephi. This is what they refer to them as in the thing, which means that they're the ancient pharaohs, right? That's why when the postmaster went and asked them to show them pictures of their gods or whatever, the gods of the Mormons or whatever, he showed them this. They like, oh, well, who is cedar wood and burning brass? So that means that the gods that the people who started the Mormon church followed, all of those gods made salach and stuff like that. So that means it's you. You see him, right? And this is supposed to be in America. With camels. Just like we saw the picture of the Moors with the elephants. Nobody. That's right. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Every time. This is a photograph of two Canaanites in Palestine before the genocide. These are descendants of the Canaanites, Philistines, who were mentioned in the Bible. So when they talk about the Palestinians that they killing and shooting and blowing up over there, this is the Palestinians they talking about. The Arab people we see on TV, that's just for American TV. But the actual people they bombing and flipping on all that, black people. Same way they did in South Africa. On the right-hand side now, we see a clip from an old book that basically talks about the three aspects of the Moorish Empire. Caliphate, Sultanate, Khanate, and the Americanus. We ain't draw all of this. So what this shows is that all three aspects of the world in the whole world is together. All in their distinct habits, but all of the same empire. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All three of them Muslims. Because the Americanos also represents the Amerindian, which represents the Naga, the Southeast Asian people. And peep this. What is that? This is the other science why I do. Oh, that book. This book. This is it. This is the title of the book. America being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, containing the original inhabitants and the remarkable voyages thither, the conquest of the vast empires of Mexico, Peru, and the other large provinces, territories, with the several European plantations in those parts, also their cities, fortresses, towns, temples, mountains, rivers, their habits, customs, manners, religions, their plants, beasts, birds, and serpents, with an appendix containing, besides several other considerable additions, a brief survey of what has been discovered of the unknown Southland Arctic region. This book is going for $52,585. That ain't nothing once you get your full faith of credit popping. Yep. In it, there's a whole section that talks about marijuana, though. was basically building on the properties and what they would use the marijuana for, and how they would use that in what they called the black substance, which probably was DMT, as well as peyote and stuff. And the marijuana thing was very significant in how, they used it, and they would basically say that the Moors was able to astral travel with it. Well, that makes sense, because the other day NASA found this. NASA discovers THC on a meteorite fragment. Researchers who analyzed meteorite fragments in search of microbacteria data found the presence of THC, which is found in various plants, most famously in the cannabis plant. The discovery of THC on a meteorite fragment will have huge impact on the science of astrobiology. If chemical substances that change brain functions and result in alterations in perception, mood, consciousness in humans find their origin in outer space, what role then has this cometary impacts played on the human species? It gives a whole new term to the meaning getting high. See? You never heard anybody who ever smoked a blunt ever say, "Oh, I'm getting low." No, you get high, right? You get effed up, not effed down, right? Now, remember a while ago I told you they said that they found a. Hold on. Yeah, but it gets better. How about this?
I'm good. Thank you, sis.
NASA discovers a new planet covered with marijuana. NASA has announced this morning that they have discovered a planet completely covered with marijuana. A discovery that has completely taken scientists by surprise. Planet XC37Z-43 God 7, discovered using NASA's Kepler satellite, would also alleged to be one of the very few planets potentially habitable, who have detected sufficient levels of oxygen and nitrogen to support human life. The presence of marijuana on other planets could strongly encourage future generations to take interest in space exploration. Because now what this means is that they need to incorporate. This is why, remember the movie Planet Express, Pineapple Express? It started with the government dealing with the weed. This is what medical marijuana is. It's strained weed that they find in little pieces of stuff, and that's why it became so much more potent than the weed that was already used. Remember, they was talking about how up until 73, right before crack came out, there was this huge marijuana drought. Niggas couldn't get weed nowhere. Then the next thing you know, crack came out, and then that's when the government started experimenting on weed, and then that's when the people in LA and all of that started growing and became a real cultural phenomenon. Most of those people, again, came from the private and governmental sector. A lot of this weed is extraterrestrial in nature. So if there's a whole planet of weed where people can go, you think that people ain't trying to get there?
Right.
So when you put 1 and 2 together, that means that the fragment of weed that they found on the meteorite is probably coming from a piece of this plant or some other plant, which means now weed can be known and used in hyperspace travel. This is the spice melange that was written about in the movie Doom. Remember the gas? And everybody was high. And it was the spice melange that allows you to fold space, and it's this brown substance.
Right.
And then the navigators who took so much of it became like worms, and they would swim around in it, in the gas.
Okay.
This is it. This is it. This is why it's been illegal for so long.
My hair is going.
But now they ain't got no choice. Remember, George Washington had a hemp farm. He didn't have a tobacco farm. He grew hemp. Who taught him how to do that? When one researches the word Negro or nigger scientifically, genetically, or linguistically, what do the first facts reveal? Who or what real genealogy or consanguine history and makeup are you researching? What is the true linguistic biogenetic categorization and classification of the words Negro and nigger? The truth about nigger has much to do with the ancient genetic research technology and experimentation carried out in the Yucatan Peninsula at Mexico, right, of Central America, Africa, and executed also in Patagonia, what we now today call Argentina. A core aspect of these ancient experiments had to do with the cross-ovum, cross-blood, and cross-gene hetero into the Homo perfection manifests. These scientific hurdles were accomplished at Patagonia of the southwest of Mexico by the ancient Moabites. So what this again corresponds to is the cross-ovum generation by which black people became adopted by this term that was now used to switch the history. So they gave us their history and we took theirs. So when we talk about the Paleolithic man, the hybrid nigger, we're talking about the heterogeneous experimentally created Occidental, not Oriental, meaning that it was created down and then put up. It was created in the heat and then put in the icebox. Manifested from this. The Anthropithecus became the Australopithecus. And from the Australopithecus manifested what adapted into the troglodyte nigger, super chimpanzee, or what they sometimes used to refer to as the shaved ape. Everything changes. Like Mauritania was right here. You know what I'm saying? But now Mauritania's over here. See what I'm saying? Everything was redrawn and readapted. Therefore, us being what we've always been, has created a position by which the only thing we can do is go back to that. But we can't go back to that from the same purpose. You heard about all of those black people dying at Hajj, getting trampled? They just stacked all the bodies up and blamed all of them for it. Said it was the African pilgrims that messed everything up. Meanwhile, the Saudis are just as black as them. All of this, again, is reminiscent to the fact that black people have to go into their own understanding of who and what they are. That most of these foreign customs and cultures that they've adopted are not theirs. And they were never, just because they adopted these customs doesn't mean that they were adopted into them totally. Arabs was just as bad as the white. Arab is the white man over there. But there's some that still maintain the ancient connection. You know what I'm saying? There's a book called The Romance of Antar that one of the stories deals with what eventually became the end of the empire. But it's romance, they're poems written about Malik Amber. The whole thing is about him.
My face and I just cannot hide it. Finally, it's happened to me. Right in front of my face and I just cannot hide it. Finally, it's happened to me. Right in front of my face and I just cannot hide it. Finally, it's happened to me. Right in front of my face and I just cannot hide it.
Anybody have any questions? Yeah, that's where the Treaty of Jeddah comes in. But my opinion is really more about establishing the position of the fact that we are the descendants of all of these people, and that we've consolidated ourselves now as a state through the temple that allows us to function, to take over and create reliquaries to hold all of this stuff, and be able to create museums where all of this is put back into its proper context, while using it to establish the basis of a society and people who understand how they are genetically and directly descended from.
Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face and I just cannot
That's the goal, because then the communities and things like that are there to celebrate and bring out this aspect of greatness, as opposed to trying to establish something from a vague basis. Like, you prove the Egyptian aspect of America's origin by accepting the Moorish aspect. Because again, the hidden name of Ra is Re is Bey. So the ancient Egyptians then are the Bey Idos, who were the manifestation out of old Canaan, right? Who created themselves kingdoms in what we refer to as the Carthaginian Empire. Who basically were able to create the ascendancy based upon being descendants from Noah, who was the one who set up the international law after the Great Rift, after the Great Flood. So because we dress like these people and embody these people today and given the proper context in that through a governmental interface,
They're doing a good job.
we now create the position by which people can have their own society.
I was wondering why they were able to stay in business.
All of what we know as the ancient dynasties of China and all of that, in the semi-modern aspect of that, all of that came from the time of Tamerlane, who they called Timur. Timur being the Moor. The Turkish dynasty, the Mongols, the Huns, and all of that came from him. He set up the first continent at the same time that we was breaking Rome down through the Caliphate. Yet we are not giving him due as being a Moor, even though this corresponded with the expansion of the Islamic Empire. Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, the first consecrated emperor of the Forbidden City, the Dragon Emperors, they all descend from him. He was like the Dracula, all of you. That's why Dracula was a sheep. He knew the Quran backwards and forwards, spending time under the Turkish Empire. So again, we are direct descendants from him. This is why we are Asiatic. So Moors, we see the empire and Islam as a whole because we're not caught up in the sectarian aspect of it, where I can be a Moor and have the Circle 7 Quran as my foundation or whatever, but I can still read the Quran of Mecca and still do whatever I need to do with that. You know what I mean? And it's catching on. You understand? People are really starting to go in. People that's not even us. So the fact that we're on it, we are the cusp, we are the future of so-called Black America as it moves forward, so long as we consolidate ourselves in a manner by which our states are secured and we can take advantage of the fact that this is barter. You know what I'm saying? That we are home. This is Africa. But in our consolidated way, it is Africa in its direct correspondence. Because we lie on the same parallel. So this septentrial map is accurate in terms of how we can view ourselves and our region or country today. So this, with the exotic map, is how we then rebuild aspects of the Society's Republic de Confederate America, Sigillium, Magnus. By first establishing ourselves individually as states, you know, making sure that we have a steady interest in the American system by which we're able to, you know, extend and do the things we need to do as far as, you know, discharging proper credit and all of that type of stuff, which once figured out leads you automatically to do not detain lists, not, you know, being forced to contract with people.
I'm telling you, I got
Anybody have any questions?
I'm about to become an owner.
This was the Black Oath. First is what's supposed to put out. We pledge allegiance to my own black self-respect and respect of all other black shades of black people on the planet Earth, all of whom are victims of systemic racism, white supremacy. And I pledge to use all my life, energy, intelligence, creativity to eliminate all forms of racism, supremacy on planet Earth, and to replace it with justice. First principle. Second principle. Excuse me, third. So that they can get peace, so help me God. The fact that white supremacy is in this oath twice, you know what I'm saying, automatically shows you where they going. The difference between this and an oath of amnesty is the opposite.
That's my face.
Yep. I'll send you the app. And that it'll have the explanation of what's going down.
I'll let y'all later. Peace.
Anybody have any other questions? So out of all of these people, you know what I mean? To me, it's only like one straight more. And that's him. He all the way here at the bottom. You dig it? As well as his brother. He's an L as well. But for all intents and purposes, C. Freeman L is the illest. But again, this falls under the Black Oath thing and the nigga problem. Because it's a false identities matrix that's been constructed to keep us perpetually at odds. And all of it falls under then the state secret, which is the privilege of national secret privilege, which is a privilege that the government may invoke against the discovery of material which, if divulged, would compromise the national security. This is the evidentiary rule created by the legal precedent in the U.S. By exercising this privilege, the court is asked to exclude evidence from a case based on the affidavit submitted by the government stating that the court proceedings might disclose sensitive information which might endanger national security, which means you have the right to your free national state secret. Right. Your state secrets is your temple state secret, which is also protected by free national security. The all-for plea is the plea that you throw in that automatically gets you out. That can help get you out if you find out that they have something that could mess up your standing. You can get that, and that basically the plea gets the charge, and then you get to war. Yeah, you the only one that fits your secret. So these are other things we'll build on in our future classes. But essentially, all of these people who talk about all this Semite stuff, yeah, they wouldn't know none of that if it wasn't for people like this. These was the people that was actually speaking the hieroglyphic language and all of that. That led to the translation of it all into Arabic, and then from that into English. So, thank you guys for coming through again. And you can send the $30 to gmail.com. Right? And if you guys have any more questions, just let me know. houseofhell@hotmail.com.
Wonderful.
Again, man, thank you guys for your participation.
Thank you for the lecture.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Very, very informative. I hope somebody was educated today.
All right. Peace.
Peace.